How to learn to speak British English when you're learning to speak English? That is a question I got on Facebook, and today I'm going to talk about my tips and tricks for you and things to consider. So be sure to watch the whole video until the end. Hi everyone, Tevan here at Tevans Haven. Today is a beautiful day, a little bit cloudy but windy. Regardless, thanks to my mic, I'm sure you can hear me well. So anyways, let's get into this. So how to speak British English, or learn to speak the British English way. So that is a question I got on my Facebook Messenger, and yeah, so the question was actually how to learn and to speak the American English and the British English, separately. So part one, I answered, like I made the video yesterday about how to learn to speak like an American, but today how to learn to speak like a British person. So I've never been to England, but my tip for that person was when you're learning to speak American English, to watch CNN. But so number one, when you're learning to speak the way the British people do, then I would recommend you to watch news channels, BBC News, videos on YouTube or on BBC TV. And then because anchors and newscasters, they pronounce the words the proper way and they speak a formal English. So compared to songs and movies, the words are more formal. Like on the IELTS test exams, they're not going to really test you on the spoken English per se, but there is spoken English, but mostly they speak like proper English in the test exams. So that is the reason why I recommend news channels and watch British TV shows. And if you find news to be a bit boring, listening about economic news or whatsoever, so then go ahead and watch your favorite type of shows on ITV or BBC TV. So there is also, like, for children and kids, there is BBC CBeebies, the kids channel from BBC TV. And on the website bbc.com, back in the day, they had like English courses for beginners, and not just English but different languages. For example, I signed up to when I was trying to learn French, I signed up to bbc.com's French courses, and they were sending me email for doing my assignments, bonjour, But anyways, aside from that, so that is, I think, a very useful tip. So tip number two is to watch movies. And for British, like English movies, I would recommend to watch the specific topics that you're interested in. For example, if you're like for British movies, Bridget Jones's Diary, that is, I think, more towards the 30 to 40 years old woman. It is a drama movie, romantic comedy type. So yeah, for guys it may be not as interesting. Perhaps Game of Thrones is a better suited. And I think Hooligans is a football fan type of movie. Has a lot of street drama, fighting and things going on. So that is another movie that I watched. There may be many other great movies. Oh, I love Billy Elliot. Yes, Billy Elliot was a great movie. So what are your favorite British movies? Comment down below. So yeah, So thirdly, I would recommend you to watch the auditions segments of the Britain's Got Talent, or maybe X Factor. X Factor, when I was watching the first auditions, you know, the conversation between the judge and the participant, I was amazed how many different accents that there are in Britain. I heard there are about 50 different dialects depending on the region. So yeah, I don't know all of the British dialects, or like, you know, from what part or from where, like, you know, during the audition someone would say, oh, I'm from Essex, or, and then when they start singing, I noticed that their accents kind of faded away, because some of them were singing mainstream songs, so maybe American songs, so the pronunciation was kind of gone because they were singing. So I think when you're perhaps the thirdly, yeah, I think perhaps you can watch like famous British actors and singers interviews, because I noticed that, like, for example, Adele, when she was accepting Grammys and answering questions from reporters, she would speak a certain way. But when she sang in her songs, because it's, you know, infused in with the music, and then she's making, you know, the hitting the high and low notes, you can't really grasp the dialect as much, I would say. So what are your thoughts on that? Who are your favorite British singers? And yeah, I would also recommend Sam Smith. And yeah, anyways, those are my tips for learning to speak English the British way. So you load yourself on a lot of British content. Yep, if you were trying to learn the American English the other way around, and you know, what you have to do is really pronounce the word and mimic the sound. But I would recommend you to master one and then move the other, because you can't master both at the same time. That's just how I feel. So yeah, anyways, I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you're new here. And until next time, share love and kindness. Bye! Please hit that red subscribe button, and also turn on the bell notification, and that would mean the world to me. Thank you!